Mustachio hasn't gotten home yet. Hi guys, this is Connie. We're doing late night readings of Connie Reads Max the Mighty. We are on chapter 23, The Secret of Chivalry. Just when I'm falling asleep, the owl comes back. He flies in through the hole in the roof as quiet as a whisper. His wings seem to fill up the night. Normally, I'd be scared, a big thing like that swooping around in the dark, but there's a lot of other stuff crowding my brain lately. So I lay there, staring at the glow from the wood stove, trying as hard as I can not to think about the trouble we're in. Like running away from the scene of a crime, and lying about who we are, and believing a phony like Frank, and escaping from the police, stupid stuff like that. My brain is thinking, you better start acting smart, you big jerk, and it won't let me sleep. It makes me count the stupid things I've done instead of counting sheep or whatever. I'm counting every stupid thing I ever said or did in school that made everybody laugh at me, and all the words I didn't understand back then, and all the books I never read, and all the cool things I wish I'd said but didn't, and all the time I wasted being mad at the world when I was really mad at me. And that day my pants fell down in gym class, and the time Kevin dared me to eat a tadpole for scientific purposes, and I did, and I got sick. It all starts whirring in my head inside my brain, or whirring around inside my brain. I'll try that again. All of it starts whirring around inside my brain. The really bad, stupid stuff, and just the plain stupid stuff, and the who cares stupid stuff, until it feels like there's an egg beater inside my head turning my brain into scrambled eggs, which makes me feel even more stupid. Then my brain has an idea. Leave the girl here and turn yourself in, it tells me. You know that's the smart thing to do. You mean leave Worm on our own? I ask my brain. She's the one who wanted to run away. She's the one who wanted to find her real father. So let her. If you stay with her, you're the one who will get the blame. Just go? I ask my brain. Sneak away while she's sound asleep? Do the smart thing. Sorry, I tell my brain. I can't leave Worm. Not now. Not here. Not when we've come this far. Her dad is going to fix everything. You're hopeless, my brain says. But finally, it lets me fall asleep. And in my dream, we're back on the prairie schooner with good old Dip, and Joe is there too, and we're all going home, and everything is going to be okay, just like on TV. In the morning, Worm says it's time to find her real dad. He's waiting for me, she says. Out there. She's staring at her hands again, like she doesn't want me to see what she's hiding in her eyes. I go, You know where he is? Worm nods. I don't get it, I say. If you know where he is, why don't we go there right away? Worm shrugs. I wasn't ready. She's not going to tell me what's really going on, or why she's being so mysterious. Outside the saloon, Worm takes a deep breath, squints into the sunlight, and starts marching up the street, like she knows exactly where she wants to go. I'm tagging along, tripping over my big feet, and saying stuff like, So what's the deal? Where are we going? Worm doesn't say anything. She just balls her hands into fists and keeps on marching. We pass all of these fallen down old buildings, places that once upon a time were a general store or a barber shop or whatever, and we're heading up the slope toward the mountain that looms over the whole town. The railway station, I said. He's at the railway station? Why didn't you say so? The old railway station is the biggest building around, with tons of fancy trim and a steep roof with a big chunk missing. It looks kind of like a gingerbread house, except all the icing has melted off. You can tell the people who used to live here must have sunk everything into this one building to make an impression when visitors came to Chivalry, and maybe to kind of inspire the rest of the town. It didn't catch on, that's for sure. And now the train only comes here because it's a good place to turn around, which is pretty pathetic if you think about it. Anyhow, when we get to the railway station, I'm expecting some weird old guy to pop out of the woodwork and go, Hey kids, I'm Rachel's dad, or whatever, and we'll have to go from there. But when we get there, nothing happens. There's nobody waiting for us. Worm stares hard at the building. Inside, she says. It's boarded up, I point out. We can't get in. But Worm won't take no for an answer. It's pretty clear she's going to find a way into the railway station, or die trying, so we go around back. Only there isn't any back to the building, because it's built up right against the side of the mountain. And everything is boarded up and nailed shut with these big spikes, so you couldn't pull out with a crowbar even if you had one, which I don't. Finally, Worm finds a hole in the wall. "Here goes nothing," she says. "Wait up," I say. "Hang on." But she's already inside. It turns out the hole is just barely big enough for a doofus like me to wiggle through if I hold my breath. I end up face down on the floor with dust in my eyes, and that makes it hard to see. But even without seeing, you can feel how big it is inside the railway station, much bigger than it looks on the outside. When my eyes start to clear up, I can make out the rows of old benches where people must have waited for the train, and the ticket windows. Everything else seems to blend into the shadows. It can be anything you want it to be, or nothing at all. But the inside of the station isn't all dark places. There's this one beam of sunshine coming down through the hole in the roof, and the worm is standing right inside the light. "Dad!" she calls out. "It's me, Rachel! Are you there?" And then she says it again, and again. "There, there, there." Except her mouth isn't moving. It's an echo coming back from someplace deep inside the earth, which is impossible, but true. My eyes have gotten used to the dim and dusty light, and I can see it now. A tunnel. The echo is coming from a mining tunnel that goes straight back into the mountain. A tunnel so big and dark, it looks like it wants to swallow up all the light in the world, and us too. Something about that old mining tunnel scares me like nothing ever scared me before. Somehow I know there's evil and misery inside, just waiting until somebody comes along and lets it out. "Dad!" Worm shouts, but it comes back. "Dad! Dad! Dad! Dad!" I may be big and dumb, and a lot of times I won't listen to my brain, but it doesn't take me long to figure out that if her real father is down in this old mine, he probably isn't coming out. When I get to Worm, she's shining her miner's light on a bronze plaque near the entrance to the mine, where the railroad tracks curve into the darkness and disappear. On the plaque it says, "Buried in this shaft are the remains of 67 men whose lives were lost in the great Chivalry mine disaster. May God have mercy on their souls and those they left behind." Worm goes, "Daddy, I miss you so much. Please tell me what to do. Please." The echo comes back, "Ease, ease, ease." My brain tells me I should have known all along. The reason Worm's real father has never been there to help her is because he's dead. We've come all this way just so he can visit his grave, and we can't even do that because he doesn't have a grave of his own. Not like in a real cemetery. Worm finally notices me and takes a tight grip on my hand. "I was so little when it happened, I can barely remember him," she says. "All I remember is he had this miner's helmet with a light, and I wanted one too." There's nothing I can think to say except, he must have been a pretty cool dad, giving his kid her own miner's helmet. Worm squeezes my hand so hard it hurts, and it makes me think she's a lot stronger than she looks. "Do you think he knows about my mom?" she asks. "And you know who?" I never get to answer that one, because a new sound comes into the old railway station and starts echoing back out of the tunnel. It's a siren. A cop siren. And that's the end of chapter 23. Oh, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, there are 30 chapters and we are so close to the end. Be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you. I will see you next time. We're going to finish this quick.